Hi everyone, I'm Danica. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited that you're here and wanting to share in this practice. Today's practice is a post-walk run, not so much a flow, more of a static hold through poses that have been mindfully linked together. It's a lot of focus on the legs, the hips, things you use while running, and a little bit of spine, little shoulders and neck, because those tend to get a little tense after you have done some cardio. So let's begin. One thing that might come in handy in practice today is having a couple yoga blocks. If you don't have any blocks, that's okay. You can use books. They're just as nice and sturdy for really just bringing the earth closer to you. So let's get started. Come to the top of the mat in a forward fold. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart. You can test if maybe two fists fit between the feet, and then let your head hang heavy. Really lengthening through the backside of the legs. If you feel a lot in the spine, maybe put a little bit more bend in the legs, and just hang out here for a couple of seconds. Notice over time you may start to straighten the legs a little bit more. And then release your hands. Step your left foot back to the back of the mat, coming into this low lunge. Right knee is over your right ankle. And then start to straighten your right leg to your degree, lengthening through the back of that right leg, letting your left hip drop, and your right hip, you press through the big toe mound of that right foot to lift your right hip up and back. It's kind of the opposite of what the body wants to do, but here you're really working to find that length and not letting the pose move into the hips. Start to bend back into your right leg. Let the left knee come down to the earth and untuck your toes. Here's where one of the blocks may come in handy. Bring it to the outside of where your right hip is going to be, and then inhale, lift up to a lunge. The more you walk that right foot forward, the more you're going to feel in this like left hip flexor here, the front of the hip. You might feel a little on the outside of the right hip, but just find a space that's sustainable. Take a breath in, and then bring your right hand to that block that's on the right side of your hip. Lift up as you inhale, and then exhale, stretch over to the right, finding a nice side body stretch. You should feel something from somewhere, anywhere in the quad, through the hip, up into these obliques, maybe into the psoas. And then inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, plant your hands on the earth. Blocks are handy here too if you want to bring the earth a little bit closer. Lift your right toes as you send your hips back towards your left heel. So really finding half splits here. Sometimes it helps if you move your right foot a little bit more forward if you need a little bit more length. Right knee doesn't have to go all the way straight, but you're lengthening the spine and then folding a little bit more. Stay here for a few breaths. Keep pressing the full foot forward. 2 more breaths. Hips move back, straight back. And then go ahead and walk your hands towards the front of the mat and bring them to the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the right so it's a little bit wider than it was. And then check in that your right knee is either over your right ankle or maybe your right ankle's a little bit more forward. So coming into this nice hip opener here, you can stay on your hands if that feels good. Option to come down and take the forearms to the mat. That might be a little bit more intense. Last option we have is to lift the right arm. I actually like to place a block under my left hand here. Allows me a little bit more prop and lift of the torso. Lift the right arm, twist towards the right leg, and bend that left knee so that you're capturing the pinky toe side of your left foot. Thumb faces up, so shoulder rolls open. Gaze past that right shoulder. Full little twist, nice quad stretch. And slowly release, bring your hands back to the mat. Move the block out of the way for now. Tuck your left toes and start to walk your right foot in, and then walk yourself to the long side of your mat. Feet are parallel to the short side of the earth, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Weight moves more into the toes or the balls of the feet so that you find a little bit more lift of the hips. Hips then line up with the ankles, and then you can maybe fold a little bit deeper. Full Weight is on the feet here, so all four corners really plant into the earth, finding nice stretch through the legs. And then begin to walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Well, where the left foot is at the front of the mat, so the opposite of the way you were facing before. Coming into that low lunge, left knees over left ankle. Keeping feet hip distance apart, start to straighten your left leg into that modified pyramid. As the right hip dials down, you press through the big toe mount of the left foot. Lift that left hip up just a little bit more, find a little bit more space. Blocks are great under the hands here too. If the earth feels like it's a little far away, you're really just stretching that left leg into the quad, or calf, of that right foot. Walk your hands forward, bend into the right knee, drop the right knee down, untuck your right toes. Go ahead and grab your block, bring it to the outside edge of your left hip, lift your arms up coming into your lunge. So again, find that lunge that's sustainable, letting the right hip drop a little bit, keeping hips square and forward. Bring your left hand to the block on the outside of your left hip. Inhale to lift up, and then take it over to the left side. Body stretch here. Right shoulder soft away from the ear. But you're really finding that length in the right side body. Slowly, as you inhale, lift up. Coming into half splits on this side. Straighten through your left leg. Left toes lift, hips move straight back. Lengthen that left leg out. Hands can be on the blocks here as well. You can walk your hands towards the back of the mat if you want a little bit more, but keep lengthening the spine. Notice how the sensation changes. One more breath here. Walking the hands forward inside of the left foot, so walk the left foot out just a little bit. Coming down onto that right knee a little bit more, maybe actually in front of the right knee, so you're a little bit more on the thigh. And you can stay right here, lifted through the chest with palms in the earth. You can drop forearms down to the earth. The forearms to a block is one of my favorites. And then the last option is to bring the block under your right hand. As you inhale, lift the left arm, twist towards the left leg, bend that right knee, and take the pinky toe side of your left foot. Thumb faces up once again, so shoulder opens. You can gaze past your left shoulder. Keep that front arm soft so that elbow is a little soft, but you're pressing heavy into your hand. Great job. One more breath here. Slowly inhale, lift the left arm back up. Plant your hands, tuck the right toes under, lift your right knee, and step it forward into a malasana or yogi squat. Toes go out, same direction as the knees. And then here you're letting the sit bones root towards the earth, and then palms meet at the heart. You can always prop up on a block if the earth feels like it's a little far away. You don't have to sit all the way down. If you need a little support, block is great. Shoulders are soft, and you press your elbows into your knees to find this nice opening of the inner thighs. Nice little connective tissue work for the ankles and knees here. One more breath in and breath out. Slowly plant your palms, press so heavy into your feet you lift your hips up. Walk your feet together and then slowly sit all the way back down. Extend your legs long onto the mat. So their hip distance apart here. Nice tall spine. Start to work that right foot in towards your hip. You can keep it or take it to the outside edge of your left hip for a little bit more sensation. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, right hand wraps around that right knee and left hand comes to the earth behind you. Fingertips back. Twisting here, gazing over your left shoulder. Left toes face up towards the sky. One more breath on this side. Exhale, slowly unwind. Switch it out. Left foot in towards your hip or to the outside of that right thigh. Lift your arms up and then twist to the other direction. Wrap your left arm around your right leg, right hand behind you. You're using this right hand as your kickstand to keep the spine tall. And then you can twist as if you were working your gaze past your right shoulder. One more breath here. Great job. Slowly come around. Come to a seat. So you can cross the legs, whatever feels good. Bring your arms out in front of you and bring your forearm on top of the other. Flip your palms so the thumbs are down and just gently press your fist forward. So you're getting a nice little stretch through the shoulders. Let the shoulders be soft, but the shoulder blades separate as you reach the fist forward and tuck the chin. Inhale, slowly start to lift the fist up towards the sky. Taking your time, soften your elbows a little, and then notice where you can really find a nice stretch through the triceps, through the shoulders, the biceps, and then hang out here. Take another breath in, and then exhale, let your arms float all the way down. Nice job. Turn so that your long ways on your mat once again. And come on down onto your back. And draw your knees into your chest. Finding figure 4, right ankle is going to come to the top of your left thigh. Right hand will move through the 4 to capture the fingers of your left hand on the back of the thigh, or right hand can come to your right knee, left hand to the left knee. This is my favorite. It really allows me to press the right knee away as I pull the left knee closer. So intensifying the sensation in my right hip. Shoulders stay grounded. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Take the left ankle, top of right thigh. Left knee presses away as the right knee pulls a little closer. You can always interlace the fingers if that feels nice. Here for a few breaths. Slowly unwind. Gently rock and roll the length of the spine. Come up to a seat. Find tabletop. We're going to wrap up just through a couple little poses here. So finding a nice tabletop. Shoulders are over the wrists. Knees are under the hips. Tops of feet in the earth. Breathe in to lift a cow pose. Drop the belly. Hold here for just a few moments. Tailbone lifts. Collarbones are widened. And then shoulder blades together. A little softness in the elbows. Exhale to round, drop the tailbone. Let your crown of your head come towards the earth. Puff up the space between the shoulder blades. Hold here. Breathe into that space. Begin to walk your hands back. Tuck your toes underneath you, coming into a little toe squat, toes pose. Make sure that all 10 toes are tucked underneath you. So this might feel like a lot to sit all the way on the heels. You can always start with palms on the earth, so the more that you relieve the heels from the weight of your body, you can slide a block under your sit bones to take some of the weight. But you're here for about 15 more seconds, so stay with it. This is great. It's just stretching out the arches of the feet, the toes, strengthening the ankles. Remember to breathe. Focus on your breath if it's trying to listen to your screaming feet. One more inhale. Nice job. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Gently untuck the toes. Tap the tops of the feet into the earth. And then slowly come around all the way to a nice comfortable seat. Bring your hands to meet in front of your heart. Take a breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today for this post-walk run movement. I hope that it's helped release any tension that you've had in your cardio journey. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. We'll bow forward. Namaste.